Hey guys, it's me, SK. I'm going to be covering a quick guide to reforging, gemming, enchants, and stat priority for a marksmanship huntard. If you're here as Beastmaster, you're definitely watching the wrong video because you're not going to get much out of this. Okay, let's start off with stat priority. First thing you want to look for is critical strike. Your crit chance is number one as marksman. You want to get that as high as you can. After crit, you want to get your haste up. Third, mastery. Remember, your primary two are crit and haste. The crit will give you that big burst when you go to boom on somebody. You know, when you go to wreck their ass, it's good game because you got that higher crit, the bigger burst, your shimmeras, your aim shot, and all that. They're going to hit a lot harder because they're going to have a much better chance to crit, especially on openers. Haste gives you a good sustainable DPS as well as a lower global cooldown GCDs. So yeah, that's why you want to cover those two. So pretty much crit, haste, and then mastery. Okay, let's move on to reforging. I've got two rules when it comes to reforging as marksman. You're gonna run into five stats on gear. You're gonna run into crit, haste, mastery, hit, expertise. Okay, first rule. Anytime you have expertise or hit on an item and you are above, keep in mind if you're above 3% hit chance or 3% expertise, you want to make sure that you're reforging out of the hit or expertise into crit or mastery depending on the stat that's on it. So if I got an item that say has uh, haste and hit, I reforge the hit into crit, because I want to keep the haste, you know, and vice versa. If I've got an item with crit and hit, I want to reforge the hit into haste. Real simple, guys. Okay, now you will run into items that have like mastery and haste on it. Yet again, haste is number two, crit's number one, mastery is number three. Reforge out of mastery into the crit, get more crit. So that way you got some crit and haste up there. And you still got a little bit of mastery. Doesn't totally nullify it. So that's the two things you really want to watch for when you're reforging. Follow those two rules, you should be good to go. Now, as far as gemming, I only use two gems primarily. I do use a blue, but not very often. Uh, for the helm, like I've got, the deadly primordial ruby. Anytime you can throw straight up agility in there, do it. Now, if you can match up a yellow and red socket, there's a good yellow socket for hunters, deadly vermilion onyx, and the delicate primordial ruby. Deadly vermilion onyx adds 80 agility, 160 crit. And as a bonus, because I matched up both, I get 120 PvP power. That's okay. It's not that great, but it's okay. Now, like my pants, if you look, socket bonus is 120 PvP power, and I had to throw a shitty ass blue gem in there that didn't add any agility, so I just threw 160 agility in there. I'm not worried about the 120 PvP power. So that's going to add to my attack power, my avoidance, my dodge, and as well as my crit. So definitely be adding, not worrying about that blue gem if the socket bonus isn't that great. I do believe. Let me look here. Okay, I did match up the blue on this one because it added 60 agility. And the blue gem that I use is the Radiant Wild Gem. There's a couple you can use. I'm just not a big fan of the blue ones for the marksmans. It adds 160 crit, 80 PvP power, and I got 60 extra agility from the socket bonus. So that pretty much covers the gemming. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is your enchants. Like I said, crit haste. Like my gloves, you'll notice I used 170 haste. Bracers, I used 180 agility. Cloak, I used 180 crit. So on and so forth. Anytime you can put agility, haste, or crit on there, do it. If you can't, mastery or all the stats. So that pretty much covers everything. I hope you guys found the video helpful. And any good feedback, put it down below in the comments. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with a pet video tomorrow. Different pets that you want to use. Like right now, I'm using Bird of Prey. He has a Snatch, which is basically the hunter's version of Disarm. So, and I'll also explain about the pets and some of the abilities they have and the macros you can use for those. Well, I will catch you guys later. I'm out.